Hi everyone.
Hello, sir.
I'm just making sure na there's a backup. IT mic na re-record nyo in case they have problems in the recording. Uh, uh, okay. Sige. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. You can start when you're ready, Ivan. It's streaming na. The link is here for those who you can save the you can save the link of the recording for future access. And I will mute my.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Ivan and Samarista. I'm currently studying at De La Salle University. I'm taking the course Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, and I'm a former intern in the corner still. Actually, I just finished my internship just last week. So, yeah, I will be your trainer for today. Oh, yes, sir. Basic exercises.
Good afternoon. I'm Chris Aleo Marquez. I'm from maintenance department. I'm a mechanical engineer.
Yes, sir. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marilu Flores from Technical Cabuyao. Yes, sir.
Yes po. Good afternoon. Ako si Denzel Membrere, technical staff from Cabuyao.
So, good afternoon po, sir. My name is James Kenneth S. Boliena, mechanical engineering student from NU Manila.
Rinig po, sir. Okay, so good afternoon. My name is Alisa. I'm a fourth year college student at the LaSalle College of St. Benilde. I'm currently taking up industrial design.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Randall Andulan from National University. Mechanical Engineering po.
Good afternoon po, sir. I'm Kyle Isabel Baquilio from NU Manila Mechanical Engineering Department.
Good afternoon po. My name is Rainier Cana, fifth year engineering, mechanical engineering student po. Hello. Before we start, okay, sir. Sir, clear naman po ba yung audio? Hello? 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 Okay, sir. So before we start, I'm assuming everyone have already downloaded FreeCAD, your respective computers. You can chat in the chat box if you have already downloaded FreeCAD. If not, you can visit the link that I will be sending in the chat. So yeah, so I think we should start. So let me share my screen. Okay, so now the first thing that we need to do is we need to open first FreeCAD. Okay, let's just wait for a moment. So now, before we start designing 3D models in this software, we need to click first this button, the Create New. Again, we need to click this one, Create New. And since most of the time you will be dealing with designing objects, you need to select the part design. So, but before that, before diving into details about this part design, we need first to you need to know first the basic user interface of this 3D modeling software. So the very first thing that you need to check upon opening FreeCAD is the workbench. So this one is the workbench. So as you can see here, there's a lot of things that you can do here, such as the art, the drawing, the image, part design, part sketcher, the tech draw for your technical drawings, and many more. So most of the time, you will be dealing with part design. So here in the workbench, we can select the active workbench that we will be using. So after the workbench, as you can see here, so this, the very first part of the interface is the standard menu. Basically, you can see here the file, the edit, the view, and the tools. So after the standard menu, we can see here. So upon clicking this model, so you can see here, this is the combo view. I guess based on experience, combo view is one of the most important parts of FreeCAD's interface because it's really a good, it really gives a good guidance when you're designing an object. So here you can see basically this is the combo view, or this is also known as the tree view. So this shows the hierarchy and construction history of objects in the document. So later you will see the hierarchy of the objects and its construction. And next is the property property view. So here you can manually edit the tools that you uh, utilize for a for an object. So in order to for you to understand this combo view better, I guess we need to sketch a very basic object. So let's say I'm gonna uh, sketch a rectangle. So we need to click first the close and we need to pad it. So now you can see here, so as I've said earlier, the combo view shows the hierarchy and construction history of an object. So as you can see, under the under this view, we can see the unnamed. Just this is our object, so we can actually change the label of this one. So I guess this will be very useful when you're dealing with a lot of parts already. So unnamed. So I will be changing this, let's say, into one, our first object. Under that, so you can locate the sketch. So as I've said, this is the hierarchy. So this is the sketch, and the tool that we use in order to make this 3D is the pad tool. So 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 since this is a property editor view, as you can see, if I click this pad, you can, as I said earlier, you can manually edit the parameters of this tool. So as you can see here, the length is 10 millimeters. So in case if you want to edit its, let's say, length, you can just simply type the length. So let's say 20 millimeters, and it automatically changes. Okay, so side note lang. So if you want to hide or unhide objects, just click the body and then press the space bar. Again, in hiding and unhiding, you just press the space bar. I guess that's pretty much it for the interface. So next, I would like to go to this one, the edit, and then we go to preferences. So here under the preferences, this is where you can actually edit your preferred settings of FreeCAD. But based on my experience, I didn't change any of this one, so I just worked with the default setting of FreeCAD. So here you can check the general, the display. You can adjust the backlight color if you want. And then workbenches, add-on manager. So this add-on manager plays an integral role if you're already in the part of combining objects, because we need to download an add-on for assembly. And then next is import and export, start, part design, and sketcher. So you can go deeply into that on your own pace and time. So now after the edit, so after these preferences, we can now go to view. So under the view, so as you can see here, the most important part of this one is this three: workbench, toolbars, and panels. So as I've said earlier, this one, the workbench selector, this is the most straightforward way of selecting a part in the workbench. But then there's an alternative to that. So you can go here to workbench and you can select one. Next is the toolbars. So if you want to customize your toolbar, so this is the toolbar. So if you want to customize the toolbar, you just need to press this toolbar and check or uncheck the parts that you wanted to use. So let's say if you uncheck the structure, so it vanishes. you want to get it back, just click it again. And then if you accidentally closed the combo view, let's say you click it accidentally, so you just need to go to view again and then go to panels and then select combo view. Okay, so now after knowing those parts, we will be dealing with the navigation of FreeCAD. So in terms of navigation, that means that how do we rotate, pan, or zoom in, zoom out the object. So for us for you to know that, you just need to hover your mouse on this one, the CAD, and you can see the CAD navigation styles. In selecting a side of an object, you just need to use the left mouse button, and then for zoom, just scroll up and down. For the rotate, you need to press first the middle mouse button, and you can select either of the two mouse buttons. And then for the pan, just click the middle mouse button. So again, as for selecting, just select a side, is the left mouse button. For zooming, just scroll up and down. Rotating, you just need to uh, click first the middle mouse button and the left or right mouse button. It's up to you. And then for panning, just click the middle mouse button. And if you're not really comfortable with the CAD navigation style, you can actually click on this one, and then you can change the setting. If you're already accustomed to Blender, then you can change the setting into Blender. But for this one, I opted to use CAD because I think it's the most basic navigation style in my case. So yeah, so basically that's it for the interface of FreeCAD. Now I guess we need to transition to the most important part, which is the sketching. So let me open a new file. By the way, in opening a new file, you just need to click this one, a new, and then you can go here and then you press create body. Then after creating a body, you need to create sketch. Now, you can see here that there's three predefined planes in FreeCAD: the XZ plane or the front plane, the XY plane for the top plane, and the YZ plane for the right plane. So in this example, I'll just choose the XZ plane. So now we can see here we are already in the Sketcher workbench. So it automatically transitioned from part design to Sketcher workbench whenever we're trying to sketch something. So here in the Sketcher workbench, so we can see here there's a lot of tools. So we'll go deep into that later. So these tools, so you can actually transfer it anywhere like that. So these tools are the tools for the dimensions and constraints. So these tools are, I guess, the most important part of the sketcher because it sets the constraint and the dimensions. And then here, as you can see here under the tasks, we can see three subdivisions. First is the solver messages. Next is the edit controls, and lastly it's the constraints. So you'll understand more about this one when we're already sketching. Now let's say we have a circle. So let's name this first a circle so that it's better to see. Okay, circle. Okay, now we have a circle here. So as I've said, under the solver messages, so it says here that our circle is under constraint with 3 degrees of freedom. So that means we can move this circle in or adjust this circle in 3 different ways. So the first degree of freedom would be You can adjust the diameter of the circle. The second degree of freedom would be we can move the circle up or down. And then the last degree of freedom is that you can move the circle sideways. So in order for you to fully constrain this one, so we need to eliminate this three degrees of freedom because we know that um, we know that constraints are necessary to remove the degrees of freedom. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to specify constraint radius. So if we set a specific dimension for this one, let's say 20 millimeters, then that means that the diameter or radius of the circle is already locked. So as you can see here, the degrees of freedom became 2. Now, if we want to lock the circle based on a vertical or horizontal distance so that it will be fully constrained, we can use these two tools. The first tool is the constrain horizontal distance. So it fixes the horizontal distance between 2 points or line ends. So for this one, we need to select first 2 points. So in selecting 2 points or lines in sketching, you just need to press Control and then click your desired points. Let's say these two lines. So in this case, I want to lock this circle in the horizontal axis, let's say. So we just need to use constraint horizontal distance. So I can set a distance of, let's say, 30. Now we only have 1 degree of freedom. So if we try to move the circle sideways, it can't be moved already. So the only movement is just up or down motion. So the very last thing that we need to do here is that we can set a vertical constrained vertical distance. So it's basically the same thing with the constrained horizontal distance. So you just need to click 2 points and then we click this one, constrained vertical distance. Sorry. Click these 2 points and then we click the constrained vertical distance. Let's say we want this to be 30 as well. So as you can observe, the sketch turned into green. So if your sketch turned into green, that means that it's already fully constrained. So under the constraints here in the task, under the combo view, you can also see the constraints that we used. So the very first thing that we did was we constrained the circle based on its radius, this one. The second thing is that we set a constraint, horizontal distance constraint, and then the last one we use the vertical distance constraint. Okay, so let's say you're done sketching. So from here you can do anything, like you can press the pad. So pad is just the extrude, like in SolidWorks, this is the extrude. And then you can also use this one, the revolution. It revolves around an axis. So you can, let's say, base x-axis, and then let's say we want this to be just 180 degrees. Let's say reverse. Okay. So in this case, we'll just need to use the pad. And then okay. So now after dealing with circles, the next thing that we will be discussing is how do we use lines. So we create a new object again, and then same thing, create body, and then we click create sketch. And then we can choose any of these three predefined planes based on our object. So in this case, I'm going to choose the XZ plane. Now for the line, so we just need to use this tool, create line. So as you can see here under the solver messages, the line is under constrained with 4 degrees of freedom. So that means that this point, you can move this in two different ways. Let's say you can move this up or down or sideways. And then this point, the same thing, you can also move this up or sideways. So in order for us to fully constrain this one, we can, what's the very first thing that we need to do is that we just need to consider this origin point because we need to lock this part. We need to lock this first point. So in order to do that, we just need to select these 2 points, and then we can use this tool, the constraint coincident. So it creates a coincident constraint on the selected item. So if I click this one, as you can see here, the 2 points locked. So we have 2 degrees of freedom left. So you can move this point like this. So how do we remove the two remaining DOFs? So what we can do here is that since we can move this up in vertical and in vertical direction, we can set an angle between this line and this axis. So in order to do that, we just need again to select these two lines. Again, press Control, the first line and the our reference axis, this one. And then we just need to click this one, constrain angle. So in this case, let's say we want 35 degrees. As you can see here, there's only 1 degrees of freedom left. So if we try to move this line, we can only move this in this way. So because it's already locked at 35 degrees. So since there's 1 degrees of freedom left, so what do we need to do in order for this to be fully constrained? So since we're able to move this like this, so it's uh, it's imperative for us to lock the dimension of this line. So we just need to use this constraint distance, so it fixes a length of a line or the distance between a line and a vertex. So we use this one, constraint distance, and then we select this line. Let's say we want 60 millimeters. As you can see here, it's already fully constrained. And again, we can see here the three constraints that we use: the coincident, the angle, and the distance constraint. So now let's say we want to add more lines here. So again, we need to use this one, the create line, and then we want to construct something like this. Okay, so let's say we want this line to be oriented horizontally. So we can also use a horizontal constraint for this one. And what if we want to make this line vertical? So we can also use a vertical constraint. So for that to happen, we just need to go here. So for the constraint vertically, it creates a vertical constraint on the selected item. So we just need to select this one, and then we click this one, and then it becomes vertical. So this is the indication that that it already has the vertical constraint if there's a small vertical line here. And then let's say if you want this line to be horizontally oriented, so you just need to click this one, constrain horizontal. And then same thing here, if you want to constrain this one horizontally, you just need to click this one, constrain horizontal. And then as you can see here, there's still 1 degrees of freedom left. So upon checking, we can move this sketch sideways. So we can't move this sketch vertically because we already have a fully constrained diagonal line here. So we can't move the object up or down. So in order for us to lock this one, we need to specify a constraint distance for this line. So we just need to select this constraint distance, and then let's say we want a 40 millimeters length. So as you can see, it's already fully constrained because if you move this sideways, it's locked at 40 millimeters, so you can't move this line anymore, the bottom line. Okay, so if you're done sketching, just close and then you can use whatever tools so we can pad this. Okay, so we need to label this as the line. So now we're done with the lines. So let's go to rectangles. So again, we need to create a new file. So we just need to select new, and under that new, we need to select create body, and then same process, we create sketch. Now, for this one, I'll be going to select XY plane. Again, it depends on your preference, or it depends on your object. So let's say we have a rectangle here. So as you can observe, the theoretical center of this rectangle and the origin are not coincident. So another constraint that we can use is the constraint symmetrical. So constraint symmetrical, it creates a symmetry constraint between 2 points with respect to a line or a third point. So wait. Okay, so in this case again, the constraint symmetrical. So as stated, could create a symmetry constraint between 2 points with respect to a line or a third point. So in this case, we will be utilizing the third point. So we just need to select first the two points, this one and then this one. And then our third point or our reference point is the origin. And then if we click this one, the constraint symmetrical, now the center of the rectangle is already coincident with the center of with the origin. So now, as you can see here that this rectangle has 2 DOFs, so it's really up to you. If you really need a rectangle, then you can just basically close the sketch. But then if you want this to be fully constrained, like you want this to be transformed into square, so we need to fully constrain this one. As you can see here, we can move this in vertical and in sideways. So in order for us to eliminate the degrees of freedom, we can select two lines. So after selecting two lines, we can use the constraint equal. So this is also an important constraint because it creates an equality constraint between two lines or between circles and arcs. So if I click this one, so these two lines that I've selected are already share the same length. So that applies to the remaining lines. So as you can see here, it's only under constraint with 1 degrees of freedom. So that's the overall size of our square. And for us to fully remove the degrees of freedom here, we just need to specify a distance or a dimension. Let's say we want this to be 60. Then that's it. It's already fully constrained since it turned into green. I know, sir. Sir, based on my experience po, parang ganito rin po, sir. You just need to sketch first and then specify a dimension. Parang ganun po palapit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So let's say we're done with this sketch and then we can pad this. So in case you want to edit something, so let's say you click OK. In case you want to edit something, okay, let's just label this first into box. In case you want to edit something on your sketch, you just need to double click the sketch. Okay, so let's say what we can do here is that let's say we want to put a slot. So I'm just creating a random design here. So as you can see here, there's 17 degrees of freedom. Okay, let me, we should be, okay. As you can see here, we have 16 degrees of freedom. So that's quite a lot. So we need to remove each one. So zooming in to the first slot, we can observe that we can still move this one sideways and in vertical motion. And aside from that, can also we can also see that we can adjust the radius or the diameter. So in order for us to eliminate, so in this case, each slot has 4 degrees of freedom. So in order for us to eliminate that, we need to specify first, in no particular order, constrain horizontal distance, constrain vertical distance, and then the constraint radius or diameter. So in using the constraint horizontal and constraint vertical distance, we need to utilize this origin point. So in this case, if I select these 2 points, and then we select the constraint horizontal distance, let's say we want this to be 10 millimeters. So it's already constrained at 10 millimeters. So it becomes 15. So on the other side, we also want this to be 10 millimeters. So we just need to click again the constraint horizontal distance into 10 millimeters. So next is we need to set a constraint vertical distance. So you can select any of these two with reference to the origin. So we just need to click this one, and this one, and set a vertical distance of, let's say, 25. Okay. And then lastly, we need to constrain the diameter. So as you as you can observe, though the movement of this slot is just based on the diameter. So we can't move this vertical or in sideways anymore. So we just need to constrain radius. We can constrain this with 3.5 millimeters. Okay. And then it turned into green. So that means that this slot is already fully constrained. So you just need to apply each step that we've done here in each of the slots. So okay, let's do that. So we need to click this one and then this one, and then we set a constraint horizontal distance again with a length of 25. And then after that, we need to constrain it vertically based on the origin again with a length of 10. And then on the other side, it's also 10. And lastly, for the radius, we just need to make this 3.5 millimeters. Okay, then for the last two, now we have 8 degrees of freedom left. So same thing, you just need to set horizontal distance of 10, and on the other side, it's 10 as well. Next, we need to constrain it vertically. Again, you can select any of these 2 points. we want this to be 25. And then lastly, we need to adjust the radius of 3.5 millimeters. Now we have 4 degrees of freedom left, so same process. We can constrain this horizontally, 25. We can constrain it vertically with 10 millimeters. And then this one also, 10 millimeters. And then the constraint radius of 3.5. Now it's quite apparent that the whole sketch is already fully constrained. So we can close this one and then let's say, yeah, we've already padded pala kanina. So it's already our object. So in in case you want to add additional elements on your sketch, you just need to again go into combo view and then double click this one. So let's say we want to add a let's say we want to add a hexagon here. So you can see from the sketch that this hexagon has 2 degrees of freedom. So that 2 degrees of freedom would be its rotation. So that means that it's not yet fixed. And then its diameter. Again, the rotation and its diameter. So we can lock this based on our like preferred design. So in this case, we want this line to be horizontally constrained. So yeah, so we have 1 degrees of freedom left. And then we can adjust the size by using the constraint radius again. So let's say we want a radius of 10. Then close. Okay, so in case you want to add more elements again, so let's say you want to fillet or chamfer the corners, you just need to select. You can do two ways. First, you can select all the sides that you want and then click the tool, or you can just click one side. Let's say you want this to be fillet, and then we can add more sides. So we can add more sides. This one again, I'm pressing Control and selecting all of the sides, and then this one, and then we want this, let's say 8 millimeters. Okay, so that's basically it for this uh, exercise. So So the last thing that I want to discuss in the basic sketch of FreeCAD is the polylines. So again, we need to create a new file. So we need to label this with polyline. And then we need to create body. And then we create sketch. Now in this case, I will be choosing the XZ plane. Okay, we can use polyline if we want to actually using polyline is far way better than using this create line tool. So because this polyline we can work faster, and we can also use this polyline if we're dealing with objects with variable shapes. So let's say, so it says here that polyline, it creates a polyline in the sketch, and we press the M key to change the cycle behavior. So we need to select this one and then we create a series of lines. Really depends on the object that we're working. So let me delete this one first. So again, there's a shortcut here. So it says here we need to press M in order to change the line behavior. So let's say let's try to make something out of this polyline. So need to create a line again. And then again, if I press M for the first time, it changes. M for the second time, changes again. And then M for the third time becomes an arc. So in this case, I'll be using an arc. And then I want a horizontal line here. And then let's say I want another arc again. So I need to press M 3 times. Okay, this is another arc. Then I want another arc, so we press M again 3 times. Then we want another arc again, we press M 3 times again. Okay, and then let's say we want just a simple line. And then we want another arc. And then lastly, we close this with an arc as well. So let's say here's our object. So it's really up to you if we want to remove all of the constraints. So again, it really depends on the object that you're working. So here, let's say we want to adjust the radius. We want this to be 10. We want this to be 10 as well. 10. We want this to be 10. Now, so after that, we can apply the other constraints that we've discussed a while ago. So in case you want this line to be vertically constrained, you just need to click this one and then use this constraint vertical. Let's say if you want this line to be horizontally constrained, and then you just need to click this one to constrain horizontal. And then FreeCAD will automatically adjust to it based on the constraints that you've already set. So yeah, sir, that's pretty much it for this exercise, for this lesson. Yes, sir.
Sir, may question lang ako dun sa box. Ang dami kasing ano, dito. Ang dami po kasing lines na, yan, katulad nito, ang daming sukat, hindi na masyado mabasa. Pwede po ba yung ano, since itong apat na polygons na to is ano, magkakaparehas. Ano yun? Pwede ba yung magkaroon ng ano? Kasi iisa naman sir ang sukat niyan mula center eh, 'di ba?
Okay. I think I know what you mean. We have not yet explored the array modifier. So there's usually an array modifier that allows you to get something and then make small changes. So hindi pa namin na ano eh. Pero uh, I guess what we can do is since you can move it on a certain axis, you can spread out the text for it.
Yes, sir.
Yan yung temporary workaround. Yung mas magandang solution. Yeah. What?
You can also hide it.
Oh, you can hide it?
Yeah.
In
the model, I think, model. Combo view, model. Upper left in the model part.
Okay. He's
If
in
you
model
see
view.
the, where's that? Upper left. The model tab.
Okay, line labels and attributes.
But there's above that, there's model.
Yeah, and tasks.
Oh,
yeah.
that's the one, right?
Yeah.
and you're in the sketch mode. Are you in the sketch mode?
Yeah, he's in
Um,
sketch mode.
yes, sir.
Naka-red
Because
eh.
in
Naka-red and green.
sketch mode, you should see the there the okay. Go into the part where you can draw again. You'll see the sketch has the constraints listed on the left.
Oh, the task, sir. This one.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
there. Dun pala sa tasks.
yeah,
You can actually unclick those. They'll just be hidden. Yung check mark.
to the left, yeah.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, I remember now.
Parang di, I mean, if it's just too cluttered. Tapos, there's a way to link, like, di ba, measurements to each other.
Yes, sir.
Para the same na lang siya. You don't have to anymore. You don't have to
Mm.
keep re-encoding. Is that an
Pero,
array function, or that's a you can do
no,
that within?
it's not the same as array. Array would still be better, but basically, if you change one measurement sa isa, lahat sila magbabago because they're using the same, let's say, length of line.
You can set it up there.
Yeah.
You
If
can
you,
link constraints. Sige.
it's a type of constraint. Where's that? No, it's in the constraints. It's a type. It has to be already built in when you make the constraints.
So you go to the constraints. Can you right
If you
click
set
for
it
more
up,
options?
one of them is no. I'll look for it. Let me pull it up. It's one of the constraints that you can constrain. Where's that?
So restrict visibility.
Pulling it. Listen, man.
Oh wait,
Yung ano, the equal sign one where you
This
can
one, sir. Constraint
ensure that
equal.
two lines have the same length.
constraint equal. Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So you select the two constraints and then you can
So
click that. Sorry, you
if
click
they're
that.
already constrained that way, I mean, right now iba yung constraint niya. But if they're constrained all to one line to be equal to that one line, all you have to do is just change that one line.
Hmm.
But yun nga, kailangan it has to be set up that way, otherwise it doesn't work.
So you can hide them all. Sorry, first you constrain them so that they're linked. Then
Mhm.
you hide them, 'cause that way it's not messy. You won't.
Mhm.
The only thing that remains are your main control constraints. Because if you change this constraint, it will affect all the other constraints anyway. And
Well,
since you
if you set it up properly, yeah.
yeah, if you set it up properly, and since it's hidden, call this, it won't be visually confusing.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if you're
Sige.
using a lot of the same shape, it and they're not going to be different from each other, it might be good to use the equal constraint.
We can try that on the next session.
Mhm.
Ivan, you just save this file and then just have a, like, on the next session on Friday we can just have a demonstrate the equal, what's it, constraint equal, the equal constraint.
Oh, yes, sir.
You can, it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be now. You have a ano, exercise prepared, right?
Yes, sir.
Wait, I kind of dropped off last. Did you demonstrate how to import an image, the floor plan, like floor plans?
That's on the next sessions, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Sure. Okay. I'll leave you to. Thanks, Nico, for the ano, and
Yeah.
Chris.
I'm gonna get that all in the manual,
Yeah.
which I
So
still am in the middle of making.
yeah. So Nico is documenting the training right now.
Yeah,
He
I'll have
will.
access to it later.
Yeah. So the video will be part of the training documentation. So he'll put a link. The training materials in a PowerPoint. And of course, you guys are all free to copy the PowerPoint presentation. Maganda if you change the background colors to show that this is your
Or a different template. Bahala ka
oh,
na dun.
Oh, you can just change the format of your contributions. That way it's visible na kayo yung nag-contribute. So that way ay Ivan, show nga yung training yung PowerPoint folder that they can edit just for
Okay, sir. Let me
uh
find that one.
yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'll help by giving the name. It was called um it was called FreeCad. uh ayun, FreeCAD Corner Steel FreeCAD
Basic training.
basic training, yeah. So yeah, it's here. So I'll have it here, yeah, there.
Okay, sir.
So you can share that tab. So that was Jane Minion made the original template. And then we repurposed it for training material. So I put it in the comments. The purpose is anyone who does not any have got lost or confused, you have the recording and you have the PowerPoint, and please comment on the PowerPoint if you have. So you can make a copy of that PowerPoint, and then what you call this, you can comment on it, linking us to it. So if you know how to use commenting in Google, you can link us to it. That way we can see any corrections or ideas or contributions that you plan to use to add to the training material. Okay, so I guess Ivan, since I already sent the link, you can proceed to your exercise.
Sir, for the exercise was kind of basic, so they can just replicate the one that I've shown earlier, the one with a lot of constraints.
Yeah, yeah. Can
Hmm.
can
Just put
someone
it up on
volunteer?
screen.
Can someone volunteer to share their screen and replicate this?
Not that
So
one.
For
uh,
this one, the dimensions doesn't have to be exact as long as the appearance looks the same. And
mm,
the very important thing is that you apply all the constraints.
mm, mm, mm. So Ivan, I think this is a good idea. Would be someone could volunteer to show their screen
Yes, sir.
and do it part of the way, like constrain one. Diba there's four corners.
Yes, sir.
So one person can do it up to that corner, to that portion, and then the next person can share their screen and show that they're able to do the the other corners until you have until you have like four or so. Uh, so that way, you didn't wait for us. You just one guy was already did it up to this point. The other person already did that and is already proceeded to the second set of constraints, and then the other person is already on the third set of constraints, and the other person's into the fourth set of constraints, and of course, the final one being the hexagon. And thus, you have demonstrate. Everybody has demonstrated if they understood the concept. Okay lang?
Okay, sir.
Sige. Who'll volunteer to be first? That the advantage of being first is that we're here to walk you through, or Ivan's here to walk you through. Kung may nakalimutan, there's people to walk you through. Ayun. Or you, do you have anybody you want to i-recommend nyo mag-volunteer? Meron kayong i-recommend i-volunteer sa team nyo? The advantage of the first one to volunteer is that he doesn't need to fully master it. He'll just nandito si Ivan and Nico and to walk through the commands and controls. Of course, dapat mag-share screen para makita. That way we can see if anong controls kinukulit. Meron ba? Or, sige, Alisa, are you there? Alisa? Okay.
Yes
Alisa?
po.
Ayun. Sorry can I request that you be the first? Is it okay?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Ah.
Share ko lang po yung screen.
Oh, so you can share a window, which will be the app itself, so you don't have to show your entire screen, or you can share the screen. Your entire screen. So yeah, the advantage of being the first one is that, yeah, you know, the people can walk you through. Okay. Sige. Okay.
So, nawala ako sa part na gumawa ng, wait. Ayun. Nung parang square, ang nakikita ko lang sa akin is yung itong line. So, yung line lang nakikita ko na wala ako paano sa square. Parang magkaiba kasi kami nung interface.
That's okay, that's okay.
Ay,
Sige,
you can
Ivan.
you can readjust the toolbar. Hindi lang nag-a-appear yung iba kasi the space is kinda you can
Okay.
select
Yeah, so you have to tell, you know those tiny dots between each section? So,
Yeah.
yeah. You got it. Sige, drag that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Okay. Every time you see that, that means it's a section. So, you can.
Okay.
So you look at the other ones, the other tiny dots. Yun. Drag them all out because they're all nakatago yung mga iba. And then you can drag it to a third row. When you drag it down, it will automatically create a third row. Yeah. So, yeah. So you can customize your GUI that. Okay. Sige. I'll leave Ivan. He's much better at this than me.
Okay, thank you po.
Sige.
Okay, now. Yes.
Sige. Yeah, work. You can verbalize your steps if unless if that makes it harder, wag na lang.
Okay. So, ang next step is naalala ko parang gagawin tong dalawa na equal.
Yeah.
Ay,
Oh, tama.
yeah. Tapos, nakalimutan ko yung itsura nung yung slot ata yun. If I remember correctly. Yung itsura nung pinakita ni Ivan.
Yes, sir. Create 4 first.
Not sure paano siya urong sa gitna.
Click the center point of the left circle and then drag.
This one.
Yeah. Drag it to the left. Oh. If that's the case, you can redraw naman the slot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
You can set first the horizontal and vertical constraint.
These two.
Yeah, with reference to the origin. But that you must select 2 points or 2 lines. So in that case, in our example, I've selected 2 points. Oh, Cancel.
Yeah.
This
So,
one ba?
what's easier for you, point or line?
Yung line ata, sir.
Mm. Ah, wait, wait, wait.
But
I
but I'm not sure if a point to line constraint will be possible.
hindi pwede. Kailangan point
Okay.
talaga.
It should be point to point or line to line. Yeah.
Ah,
Okay, gets.
okay. We both all new learned something new. Okay.
It's also possible in that way. Uh,
Um,
ano mo, ilipat mo yung mga constraints sa baba para makita yung lahat ng tools. I guess may nakatago pa din sa right side. You want to find ba the radius?
yeah.
You just need to replace that somewhere.
Which one?
That one, that one.
This?
You can transfer that there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Then you can use constraint radius or diameter.
Pag ganun ba, ano na siya?
I think
Naka 5.
yeah, I think that's already.
Okay.
Yeah, nag-ano siya, naging redundant constraint.
So, 5 na silang lahat, ganun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think naka-default na siyang 5 kanina. So,
I'll try to make it 6 na lang. Never mind.
and then I guess the next thing would be its horizontal distance, like the two center points of the circle.
This and this.
Use one muna, then you can reference it to the origin, then use the horizontal constraint. Select that one and the origin, and then you can select the horizontal constraint. Yeah, that one. Then make sure that both sides have the same length. Yeah, and then the process is pretty much the same for the rest. Yeah, oh, that's fully constrained already. So you can add whatever you like in the middle. And then if you're done sketching, you can just click close and then you can add it. And then, yeah, you can, yeah, that's it. And then let's say you want to fillet the four corners or chamfer it. You just need to select first the target corners before you click the tools. Press control then select all corners. Yeah, that one.
Paano mag-rotate nung
Click
camera?
i-click mo yung middle mouse button and then either of the right or left.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Sir?
I think
Sige sir, try ko.
I'll stop sharing na, sir.
okay. Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Sir, wait lang po. Ano lang, set up ko lang.
And hello, sir. I guess, sir, for the second exercise, I think it would be better if it's take home. Like they can utilize polylines and create any object that they want, and then they can present it next meeting.
Okay, sir. Apo. Sige sir, try ko na po. So, ang ano natin sir ngayon, ang activity sir is ano po, yung polylines. Ayun ako din sir. Okay sir. Sir, nakikita na po ba yung ano? Screen ko?
Oh, okay. So you have to go from start, so workbench. So nakita mo yung start ng
Yes, sir.
workbench? Sige. Ayun. So select ka ng part to, no?
sir. Part design.
Part design.
I guess, sir, yung kailangan mo po munang ipakita yung combo view.
Combo.
Go to view.
View.
Yeah. Sige.
Yeah.
Ayun, yan. Okay lang. Mag-auto sa left pa. Ayun. Ay. Bakit drag to the left? Sige.
Drag to the left sir.
Oo.
Nagaganto sir sa akin pag ano. Na
Hmm.
tumataas siya pag ano.
Hindi siya sa right. Try mo sa right. Kung ayun. So sagarin mo. Okay.
Ayun.
Sige. Sige, we'll
Sir.
just do that for now.
Okay sir.
Okay.
So start. Create sketch now sir.
Body po muna. Create
Body.
Yeah. Then create sketch.
And then create sketch.
Mm.
So XY plane.
Mm.
So bale,
Mm. Box lang muna.
I see.
For
Can
now.
I,
Yeah, yeah.
ito na lang.
Yeah, oh, actually you can um yeah, as long as you demonstrate the understanding of constraints.
I see.
The reason why ginamit yung ano yun, yung tawag doon, Ivan, yung rounded one, para you can demonstrate how to use the radius
Yes, sir.
constraints.
So, how to center this, sir? Ulit, nakalimutan ko eh.
The symmetrical, click
This
first,
ba?
two opposite corners, two opposite points.
To perpendicular.
At-
Opposite points to opposite points. Oh, yeah. Sige, balik ka sa model.
Model
Yeah.
and double click.
Ayun.
So, two opposite points.
Mhm.
Ito and then this.
The other one, diagonal.
Diagonal. Sorry.
And then use a third point, the origin, as the third, and then click, kailangan yata ilipat yung sa constraint. That one, yung may, yeah, that one.
Dito.
No, yung katabi ng, yung katabi ng circle na may,
Ito, constraint symmetrical.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so sir, yung tanong ko kanina is ganito. Di ba magkakaparehas naman sir itong paparehas sila and then parehas ng centers. So can I, yung parang gagawin kong isa na lang yung i-edit and then lahat ang tawag dito?
we can,
So gusto ko yun sir, yung gusto ko sana i-figure out. So,
Yung ginawa ko on my since I tried the exercise,
yes sir.
yung isang line may measurement, let's say one of those lines, tapos lahat ng, for example, yan, pili ka ng line.
Opo.
So may measurement siya, just put a constraint for, I guess, horizontal length or something, or whatever length. Pwedeng horizontal length para pati.
So, eto sir. Eto.
yung katabi ng,
Just select a line sir and then,
katabi ng padlock.
eto.
May siya, I think it has a horizontal constraint already.
Meron ng horizontal constraint sir.
Yeah, you could get rid of that. Or you could just put the length constraint. Sige, length muna. Nandiyan na eh.
Length constraint sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ayaw. Tanggalin mo yung isa. Just remove one constraint.
Yeah, you can
Like
delete the
the horizontal one.
So, 10.
Tapos, so may measurement na siya, di ba?
Yes, sir.
So go to the others, the same part of the other line, of the other slots.
Dito, sir.
Yung line na yun. Select mo yung isang line, the one with the measurement.
And then, select lahat, sir.
Lahat Isa-isa.
Isa lang ba? Okay, sir.
So select yung yan, tapos yung may measurement.
Ito
tapos
po.
equals mo.
And then equals. Ayan.
So equal siya, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Ano mo na ba?
Yes, sir. Nag-equal po. Equal 36.
Yan,
So,
equal. So, ganun ba din yung iba?
So,
sa measure, same part.
Yun.
Yan. So, yun. Tapos yung arc, ganun din. I used yung circle, yung, ang tawag na? Yung constraint arc or circle sa yung curved part. So, ginanon din ko rin Palaging lumalabas sa ano. So, nag-equal na sila?
Sir, ano napindot ko?
Hindi ko alam.
So, ano, na-equals ko yung dalawang ano, sir.
Undo mo na lang.
Control Z na lang po.
Control Z.
Undo mo na lang kung hindi mo alam.
Okay.
Ayan. So, select mo yung isang arc.
And then,
Lagyan mo ng measure.
mag-measurement, sir.
Oo.
That one, yung katabi ng arrow. Katabi ng angle.
This,
It's a toolbar.
So, equals 15 na siya, di ba?
opo, equals 15 na pala to.
Okay. So, lagyan mo ng ano. Yun nga. Yung iba, i-equals mo dyan.
So,
Yung
ito,
mga
and
ibang,
then,
select mo yan. Select mo yung ano. Yan. Equal mo dyan. So, lahat sila magiging, pag ginano mo, parang may measurement na yung iba eh.
oo nga, sir. But,
Tanggalin mo lang.
paano ba magtanggal itong ano?
Select mo, press delete.
And then, delete.
Dapat mag-green siya, tapos delete mo.
Yeah.
Ayaw? Sa akin, mag-delete. Well, mahahanap ko sa ano, sa constraints, ano.
Constraints.
Yan, naka-highlight siya. Pag nahanap mo, pwede mong i-right click tapos i-delete. Yan o.
Ito po.
Right click.
And then, delete ko rin ito. Diba?
So, yung inano ko, lahat in-equal ko dun sa isa. So, pag pinalitan mo yung isa, lahat iiba. Yung hindi ko lang maganon yung measurement, yung location nila.
So, sir, yung ano, yung pinakang centers.
Kung saan sila naka-center.
Okay na. So,
Kaya ginawa ko na ng ano eh, dentro ko lang sa ano, yung sa center ng ano talaga. Yung may measurement from the center.
Okay.
Ba't may 15 tsaka 36?
Ano, sir, ano, parang, ano siya. Ito kasi, sir, yung if nag-equal ito, nag-equal kasi dito, sir, sa ano, sa 34 dito. So parang nag-a-add siya, sir. So equal siya dito, and then ito naman 34 is equal dito. And then yung 33 is equal.
Ayun, yung 34, but 53. Ang weird, ah. Dapat magkapareha yan, eh.
Okay, sir. Wait lang, sir. Parang ano eh. So, 33. Natagal lang ako. Sorry, sir.
It's okay. Oh no. Right. Let's see what happened.
Oo nga, sir. Wala mapapagtanungan. So, ayun, sir. Ulitin ko na lang.
Hindi pwedeng maghula, eh.
Additions.
Yung equal, parang ano nang yata siya. Parang yung mga numbers dun, yun yung designation lang ng number ng constraint.
Sir, parang ano.
Hindi siya yung measurement. Hindi siya 15 measurement. Siya constraint number 15 siya.
Yes, sir. Number lang po yung order.
Hindi pala pwede yun. So, since meron na akong measurement.
Dahil nga, yan mo. Yan. Pwedeng equals. Equals. So sila
yan,
equal. Dahil nga. Yung numbers nila, ano lang pala yan. Yung designation lang ng constraint. Hindi siya measurement.
Yung nga pala.
So, kung 47 yung isa, 48 yung isa, 40, yung parang ganun. Mag-aano lang siya. By the numbers lang. In other words, dapat hindi na lang dapat pinabayaan na lang pala.
Kaya nga, sir, parang ano, designation nga lang siya kung saan equal.
Oo, kung saan siya nakatutok.
So, bakit ayaw?
Constraint radius.
Sir, patulong ulit. How to,
Click, tapos click
Radius.
mo yung isang curve.
Ito?
Hindi,
Sir,
yung sa kabila, yung sa isang shape. Yung kabilang shape.
kabilang shape. Ito, sir? O,
Hindi,
ito?
yan, yan.
Yeah.
Tapos, iyan mo.
Equal.
Arc, equal. Yeah, equal. Pwedeng equal din.
Hindi, sir, wala pa kasi
arc
akong
pala.
constraint distance nito yung arc distance.
Gusto mong yan, no? Arc distance
Para,
yan.
equal
Isa
nga
lang yan.
sila
Arc
lahat.
distance mo muna.
Bale, sir, ayaw
Hindi, arc. Yung below.
Constraint radius. Yung below.
Ito?
Yung katabi ng
Ito
angle.
nga.
Yeah.
So, 3.5. And then,
Yan, horizontal. Para hindi siya mag-ano. Yan.
equal. Okay.
Mhm.
Ay.
Tapos
So,
yan,
3.5.
i-equal mo dyan yung mga arc nila. Kahit ano lang, yung sa ibang shape lang.
Ano na po yun. So, bali
Actually,
isang
yung
arc
ginawa
lang.
ko, tig-isa lang per shape.
One per
Lumang
slot.
siya.
Try ko rin sa one per shape.
Gano'n naman siya.
And then, equal. Oh. What
May,
happened?
may isang hindi naka-horizontal, vertical.
Yeah.
This one.
Control Z.
Nagano ba? Mas-select mo pa. Yan. Okay.
Meron yung mga hindi rin naka-horizontal.
Mas malaki yung isa.
And then, okay. Ano po yung nangyayari pag nag-orange?
Auto-redundant.
Pag nag-orange,
Opo, kanina.
usually nakaset siya.
Sure.
Meaning,
I think sir, po yun, redundant constraint, parang nadodoble siya.
Okay. Parang may naiipit.
Yes, sir.
Wala, ito pa rin yung
May dumadoble. Pwede ka may tool dyan. Sa upper left ng screen.
Yes, sir. Tools?
Di ba may DOF dyan sa side?
DOF. Ito, sir.
Sa kanan nun, may select redundant constraints.
Kanan.
Keep going. Yung may parang may bilog na yan.
Ito, sir.
Yun. Hahanapin mo yung constraint dyan na pag pinindot mo, parang lalabas yung mga redundant constraints, yung mga doble. So, dapat nakaselect siya sa yung sa, di ba may list ng constraints?
Apo. Ito, sir.
Walang nakaselect?
Wala, sir. Hanggang 1, 2, wala po.
Weird. Pag pinindot mo ulit, sige, try mo.
Ito, sir.
Tapos select conflicting. Try mo yung sa katabi niya.
Conflicting.
Wala pa rin.
Wala pa rin.
Ang hindi siya gumagana. Dapat gumagana siya. Lilitaw siya.
Okay. Yun. Nag-orange ulit.
Sir, pwede yatang i-check yung auto-remove redundants dun sa solver messages.
Solver messages.
Yun. Okay.
Okay. So, wait.
Tapos,
Okay.
nag-remove na ba siya? Update. Nawala.
Okay, sir. Try ko ulit kung ano. Ito kasi yung nagpapana. Yun, nawala.
Okay.
Okay.
Parang mas malaki yung isa.
And then,
Hindi pa nakaano. Okay.
equal. Ayun.
Yun. Okay.
So, In centering, sir, hindi natin kayang pagsama-samahin.
I mean, siguro may method, pero hindi ko pa naisip.
Okay.
Parang symmetry kaya. Hindi din. Na, yung ginawa ko lang horizontal tsaka vertical constraint sa
Yeah,
gitna.
sir. Horizontal and vertical lang po in
Simple lang.
that case.
Tapos by point,
So,
isang
ang
point.
pag-move po nito in a center is ganito,
Yeah, based
So, like
on
a
the
point
origin.
So, and then,
Use lang yung vertical and horizontal. Yeah.
ito
Yung,
po.
yeah.
So, 3.5. 3.3.
Oh. Okay. Redundant again.
5? Okay.
Getting there. Okay, good. Tapos
3.7. And then, horizontal is okay. But wala siya sa center.
Hindi pa yata naka 3.7 yung left side.
Ito ang kabila.
Yeah, in reference to the origin.
Origin. So 3.7.
teka. Parang may constraint na siya
Okay.
na hindi tama yung measurement.
So bali sir, ito na yung
Yeah.
measurement.
Kasi sir, nakaset na yung 10 millimeters.
10. So dapat 5 iano mo. Or palitan yung i5 mo yung
5 ito and then 5 yung kabila. So sir, kasi hindi siya magse-set hangga't meron ito. So
parang yan yung kumokontra yung 10 millimeters. Kaya di siya nagpo-proceed dun sa horizontal constraint niya.
So bali
i-ano mo. Pag sinlect mo yan, tapos yung isa.
So 5. What?
Ayaw. Okay. Maglagay ng
okay. So nakaset na siya ng
ba't siya nakaset?
Kasi sir, yung dalawa pong
Okay, yan yung palitan mo.
Bali sir,
Actually, pwede mong i-double click yan tapos palit lang yung measurement. Anyway.
Okay sir. So, nagbura pa.
Parang binura tapos binalik. Pwede mo naman i-edit to.
Is 5 to. Okay. Ayan.
Kasi hindi mo kailangan i-double yan pag nakaano siya.
So,
pwedeng isa per lang. Pwedeng isa per shape lang.
Cool. Okay. Ito bali. Hindi pwede. Okay, sorry. So, bali pinifigure out ko sir kasi kung kung since ito similar. So, bali kung mapapagpantay ko na lang siya and then
the vertical constraint.
ano ba dito?
Yeah.
Dito. Okay. Ayan, nag-orange siya eh.
Yung orange may conflict.
Redundant sir. Redundant constraint. Parang
ayaw
sir, in one specific line, dalawa yung constraints na nakapasok sa kanya.
Yeah. So balik kasi sir pag kasi ang tag dito. Lalagyan pa natin 'to ng sukat. Magkakagulo sir kasi sa dadami yung tag dito. Itong mga line. And then so ang nasa isip ko kung if ito pwedeng i-equal na lang dito since sila parehas and then ito dalawa. Para less tayo.
Wait. Parang may naisip ako. Di ba may mga points dyan? for example, nakaset na yung sa taas, di ba?
Opo, nakaset na to.
Tapos, try mo yung lower right point ng nasa taas, yung sa ilalim niyan.
Ito po.
Oo.
And then,
Tapos, select mo yung upper right ng nasa baba.
ito po.
Actually, pwedeng yung middle point din kung gusto.
Ito na lang, sir.
Yung yan, tapos yung, yung sa ilalim, So,
Ito
yung
po.
parehong, yung sa bottommost.
Ito,
yung mirror.
parang ito, sir.
Oo.
Yan.
Yan, sa baba.
So, bale ito, sir.
Yung sa baba talaga. Hindi, yung isang shape. Yung
ito. Sorry, sir.
Yan.
Wait lang. So, I have to,
yan.
And then, ito.
Yan. Tapos, horizontal distance 0 mo.
Ito po.
Vertical, yan.
Horizontal.
Tsaka, yan, constraint lang yan. Yung measurement sa right.
Ito, sir?
Left pa ng konti. Left pa ng konti.
Left ng konti.
Yan, isa pa.
Ito po.
Yan. Iyan mo yan. Tapos, i-0 mo.
0.
So, align na siya. Di ba? Yan.
So, yun. Align na nga, sir. Pero ba't may naiwan?
Ha?
Naiwan.
Ang weird. Ba't may dalawa? Baka, iyan mo, i-update, baka hindi lang na-draw. Yung refresh mo.
Ayun.
Yun. Nag-lag lang. Tapos may, parang kulang yung constraint ng isa.
Ito po, ano? But,
horizontal constraint. Nawala ka sa sketch.
wait lang, sir.
Yan, there.
Bale, ito ay horizontal.
Yan.
Okay.
So, yan, di ba naka-0, tapos yung kabila, pwede mong i-0 din sa isa. Yung
ito, sir. And then, ito.
Yung dalawang left and right.
Okay po.
Pwede mong i-0. So, yan, pwede din yan. Tapos sa kabilang ganyan.
Hindi, sir, bago ko i-zero, ano ko muna siya sa
Yan. Okay, same thing, no? Pareho lang. Go.
So, 5? Tama ba? Okay. And then, 15 and... So, bale.
Wala pa yung
Nangyari?
horizontal constraint. Wala siya.
Okay.
Wala siyang vertical constraint pala. Yan.
Ito?
Parang hindi na-apply. Yan. Okay.
And then, ano itong line na to? Okay.
Yan, measurement. Yep.
Wala. Okay. So, itong line na to. And then, ito, sir, no? And then, horizontal constraint. 0.
That should be vertical.
Vertical. So, 0. Okay. And then, equal na ba siya? But, ano to, ba't hindi pantay pa rin? Wait lang.
Parang may kulang.
Okay, may parang may kulang, hindi ko kasi sure na siya nagpantay dito. And then dito okay. So ang hindi po kasi pantay natin is itong ating square. Okay. So
Hindi siya okay.
And then naka-constrain sir sa sa center yung
isa.
naka-constrain pala to sa
So, saan? Hindi... galaw-galawin mo yung mga parts. May gagalaw dyan.
Oh,
Yan.
so,
Yan yung,
mm,
yan yung hindi naka-constrain.
and then, pwede ko ba to, sir, i-equal dito? So, ano?
Ah, equal? Saan mo, saan mo i-equal?
Oh, wala, sir, value. Bali sa... Ano?
Umiiba.
At hindi pa pala naka-constrain, sir, yung iba.
Wow. Wala silang
Ah,
measurement.
okay.
Okay.
Pero may measurement. May
Kanina,
measurement to eh.
parang nawala. Na-delete siguro.
Na-delete yata, sir.
Ayan naman. Balik mo
Wala.
sa isa. Mag-equal-equal lang.
Oh.
So yung ano dapat, horizontal constraint.
Okay. So, and this horizontal, so 5.
Na naman
Okay, gumagalaw pa rin siya.
Hindi naka...
Ito, sir, mga naka-fix na ito mga greens, no?
Yeah, naka-green fix na yan.
So, bali.
Hindi na magagalaw yan unless... Pero lang specific...
Sir, wala pa po yatang horizontal distance constraint.
Dapat,
Along,
so,
with reference sa origin.
Measurement. Yan naman lang. Parang ginawa mo sa isa. Diba?
Ito, sir, parang i-equal ko dito. I-zero ko din ito.
Hindi mo na magalaw na up and down, di ba?
Opo.
I guess yung sir, yung 15 millimeters.
So
yung 15 millimeters.
So, yun nga, i-ano mo. Parang yung ginawa mo sa dalawa. I-ano mo yung measurement nila sa center or something.
Yeah. 15. And then that was, lock na siya.
Ayun. Okay na
Tapos
din.
yun isa. Tapos malapit na yan
Yan, fully constrained.
Tapos set na lahat. Yung na lang.
That should be good na ito. It's fully constrained.
So usually pag hindi ka pa sanay sa logic na madaling i-constrain habang ginagawa. Pero pag medyo sanay ka na, mas madali yung i-ano mo lahat ng shapes tapos i-constrain. So yan.
Uy.
Dalawa. Delete mo lang. Yan. Okay.
Then, let's see horizontally.
Tapos center,
So, radius, sir?
Radius. Tapos i-set mo lang sa center.
Sir. Just, click mo lang dito.
Ito?
Yeah. Then, radius constraint.
And then, radius constraint.
Yep. Yan.
Okay.
Tapos, nakaset na siya?
Yes, sir.
Fully constrained na siya.
Then close.
All good.
And then close. And then...
Tapos yan naman na lang. And it's a shape.
Paano nga sir mag-ano nito? Mag-move in
Sir, itapat mo yung mouse button dun sa baba, sa lower right.
Dito?
Dun sa CAD. Di ba parang pinaka lower right? Yung CAD.
Ito?
Itapat mo lang, no, yung CAD. Yeah.
Dito?
May lalabas dyan.
So, okay. And then, okay.
Yeah.
So, bale, i-chamfer, sir, no?
Yes, sir.
And then,
Hindi pa yata sir na-click yung okay kanina dun sa ano, sa
okay.
padding.
Yan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
And then,
use a jumper.
right.
Ito pa yun,
Right.
groove.
Right pa.
Ito. Okay. Pili.
Yeah. And then sir, adjust na lang yung radius sa right side. Combo.
Just, hey. Sir, thank you, sir.
Hmm.
Ken, kasi I guess kung kaya mo na, okay na tayo. Si ano na lang, PDTD meron kayo? Meron kayong ano? May kaya kaya gawin yung exercise?
Try daw ni Denzel, sir.
Sige, sige. Sige, thanks. Rendo, you can, yan. Sige, sige. Okay. Organize mo muna yung GUI mo. Baka hindi nakakita lahat eh. Wait. Wag muna Sketcher. Start ka muna. Punta ka sa work sa Sketcher. Click mo yung Sketcher. Pili ka muna ng part design. Sige. Ayun, yun. Create sketch. Sige. Then pili mo yung okay. And sige, before you start drawing, ano mo muna? I-drag mo muna yung mga panels mo para makita. So yung mga tatlong dots yan. Kasi paminsan nakatago yung mga ibang controls eh. Ayun, para makita. Okay. Sige. So box. Yeah, okay yan. Ayun. Okay. Sure. Sige. tsaka dapat horizontal. Ayun.
Um, I think, sir, better kung select muna yung two sides before clicking yung sa tools.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, that's good, sir. Then, Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, clarify ko po, yung CRs po ba? Or lahat? Ah, okay. Apo.
Parang varnishing and ducting po ata, sir.
It's okay, sir. Sir, I'll check po. Ah, sir, for Friday, wala pa po yata. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Lee.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Yes, sir.